Concern this afternoon that already crowded shelters in Tijuana are about to get even more packed next week when Title 42 is lifted. It's our top story right here on the 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live from the border with a closer look at what conditions are like in those shelters right now. Kelly.
That's right, and this is a big concern. Now, these shelters are not places that are meant to be lived in long term, yet some migrants have been living there for months and even years. Now, we did talk to the director of one of these shelters here in Tijuana, who says there is no set plan in place should there be a surge of people once Title 42 is lifted.
Right now, we're not really sure what to expect. We're in total uncertainty as to how the process will be. But I can also tell you that it's been very unclear, the process to request asylum or the exceptions to Title 42.
Now, that was Judith Cabrera. She co-directs the Borderline Crisis Center in Tijuana. And as you heard her say, she isn't sure what to expect next week. And in the coming weeks, she says no one has communicated to her or any of the other shelter directors in Tijuana about any additional resources to help prepare for large numbers of migrants coming in. What she does know is that a lot of times migrants who are turned away at the border end up in Tijuana. The shelters are already at capacity. Right now, there are tents set up inside the crisis center so they can house more people. And that includes families with children. Now, according to Municipal Office of Migrant Services, roughly 10,000 migrants are in Tijuana right now, and only about half are living in shelters. Some are staying in motels, others are in private homes, some are living on the streets.
The United States has to face the situation that they have created in the last, 6-7 years with all these restrictions, and they have to see it through. They have the capacity, they have the resources. They just keep saying they don't. But we were able to see with the Ukrainians how they do have the capacity to process hundreds or thousands of people a day.
And according to the Department of Homeland Security, 270,000 Ukrainians have been welcomed into the United States. Now, Cabrera says Mexico doesn't have the programs or the resources like the United States does. She says people who end up staying in Mexico, the help just isn't there. Heather and Carlo.
Kelly, what about the federal shelter in Mexico that opened up back in 2019?
Yeah, we talked about that today, and that was a shelter that opened up under the so-called Remain in Mexico policy under former President Trump. And supposedly it was supposed to hold a capacity of 3,000 people, but according to Cabrera, in the beginning it held maybe 100 to 150. The most it's ever held has been around 700 people. It sounds like there may not have been the resources there for it. It's unclear right now if that shelter is going to be used should it be needed next week.
A lot of concern about a huge crush pushing to enter the border less than a week away when Title 42 ends. We're going to see what happens. Kelly Hessedal reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.